What's up, guys? Your boy Moho back with another video for you guys. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much to the DayZ dev team for giving me this Gamescom footage. This was from the event that was just held a few weeks ago. This is 6.3 Beta DayZ. If you guys are wondering exactly what this video is going to be my detailed information on what I think of 6.3 and what I think it's going to be like. I have yet to play it. But like I said, thank you for the dev team for giving me this video, because this is an incredible opportunity to actually bring this to you guys and give you guys my my final thoughts on what I think the game looks like compared to what we've been playing for the past few years. As you guys can see, well, obviously you can see the way he's running and the movement and the way the camera looks. It's really smooth. You could tell that I guess the footsteps and everything else is a little bit different. That's what you probably would first notice in the very beginning. But I want you guys to take a look in the bottom left and the bottom right. You have your stamina bar in your bottom left, which I think is going to be pretty interesting. I think I kind of like the way that they did it, because it refills itself pretty fast, you know, and it makes it to where people just can't constantly run away from you. Like, I've been in so many gunfights where I'd be shooting somebody, they're bleeding, they're on the verge of going down, and they just can keep running and running and running, and then I end up eventually losing them. So the stamina bar thing, honestly, I'm not too against that. I think that's pretty cool. You know, especially Hicks was talking about saying that there's going to be more vehicles in the game, so that's going to be awesome. But on the bottom right, more interesting, I don't know if you guys played the mod or if you played, yeah, basically if you played the mod, you could tell that this is one of the features that it had in the mod, where it had, like, you know, your food, your hydration, and your blood levels, and so on and so forth. I think that's pretty cool to have. I think it's a lot cleaner to have, because hitting tab to see if you're hydrated and energized is kind of it's kind of clunky, and it's not as organized. So you know, props to them for bringing that back. I think that's awesome. And one thing I want to talk about is look at the camera when you're running and stuff like that. The movements in general, they're so fluent. They're so gathered together nicely, you know, when he runs. And I think the whole camera wobbling feature is going to be pretty cool. You're not going to be able to run away and keep you know, a sharp eye on somebody who's either running behind you, or even if you're trying to catch up to somebody, it's going to be pretty hard to really get a grasp of where they're going when the camera's moving like that. I like it. I don't know if you guys like that or not, but if you guys want to see like some comparisons, this is basically 6.2 DayZ on the left and 6.3, which is beta, on the right. You guys can get an idea of how it's changed. You can see how it's more like stable on the left-hand side, whereas on the right-hand side, it's, you know, camera angle shaking with your movements. Another thing I want to talk about is I like the detail. I like the graphic upgrade. Look at the road. You know, the road is more distinguishable now, and I think the textures just look a lot better on 6.3, in my opinion. I don't know. You guys might be able to tell a difference better than I can, but I think it looks a lot better in my, you know, from what I'm looking at right now on my monitor. But I like how when you move, you're not blocked anymore. You know, you don't have like a certain distance from when you're turning and then it stops and then you got to like reposition yourself. So, you know, props to them for that, honestly. I do think the running looks a little awkward. I feel like his elbows are like, I knew a teacher in high school that ran like that, and it was kind of awkward, but, you know, with the elbows locking and stuff like that. But this right here is a huge feature. There's so many times in DayZ where I'd be running up some steps or running near a ledge, and my guy just like takes extra steps, whether I'm pulling my gun out or something like that, and I would fall and I would break my legs or even die. So that was a huge, you know, upgrade. This right here, though, I don't think you guys understand how excited I personally got when I saw you can run up the hills like this. This right here is just phenomenal. I mean, you guys probably watch me every single day, and climbing up a hill is like part of our, you know, our streams, you know, especially in the PvP aspect. And I just think that's remarkable how you could just tackle a hill like that. You know what I mean? To be able to do this is like literally a blessing from the developers, honestly. I think I even seen Hicks tweet like saying something that, oh, you know, not being able to run up hills is like the most annoying thing. And I was so surprised he said that, because they never really talked about that in the past. So being able to do this right here is going to be such a huge contribution of your survival, or how you can flank people, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate the fact that they actually touched that up. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are too, because walking up a hill at 1 mile an hour while you're getting shot at has to be the most infuriating thing. Moving along to how you are able to organize your inventory and how you are able to interact with the things in the environment, like pick up things. This right here is obviously another huge change with 6.3. I am so glad that they actually put this in the game, because obviously for those of you who know me, I'm a PvP player, and the people I play with are all PvP oriented, and there's a lot of times where we're in like a certain situation where we got to act quickly, so we'll drop something on the ground, and then we look back, something like ammo, and it's like, you know, in Barbarian's case, he'd be like, where is it? You know, and he doesn't know where it's at because it's in the mixture of things. This right here is a cool feature as well. You know, when you're hovering over something and it says press F to pick up, it kind of outlines where the item is, and it automatically will pick it up if you're in the vicinity. I think that's a huge upgrade, because there's so many times where, or so many instances where I'll be in a gunfight and or I'll drop ammo on the floor for somebody on my team, and they're like, where is it? You know, and they can't find it because it's blending in with the grass. So hovering over something like that is a big upgrade, I personally think, and it'll smoothen things out when you're getting in gunfights and you're in these situations where you have to act quickly. Here is some footage of the melee system. I think it's pretty cool. It's obviously 100 times better than what we've been dealing with. I feel like you have like T-Rex arms when you're trying to battle somebody, you know, and people just zigzag, and sometimes it just doesn't even seem like you're connecting your hits. So that's pretty cool. That's a good look. This right here, I think this is very important for you guys to see. This is where, you know, this is something that I do, you know, whether I'm rallying zombies up or whatever, trying to lock them in the house. I think this is pretty cool how they don't attack you while you're punching another zombie. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't know if that's going to stay like that. Probably not, knowing them, but I think it's cool. It gives you a little break, especially if you're like a fresh spawn on the coast and you're, you know, you got to find something and you're getting, you know, stuck in a corner. So I think that's good. I don't know if they're going to change that. Don't quote me on that, but that's just something that I see from this footage that I want to talk about. And you can see the new animations where you get hurt. I don't understand this yet. I'm not too sure how this works. I don't know if you heal over time and you're able to run again. I don't even know, because I looked at the blood levels on the right and everything was, you know, perfectly fine. So I'm not sure how that works. I can't really comment too much on that. This is pretty cool, but I do think in real life I'd be able to swing an axe way faster than this. I feel like if you're going up against a guy with a gun who's trying to hold you up as a fresh spawn on the coast and all you have is an axe, I feel like you're heavily it just seems like you're heavily at a disadvantage. And I mean, look how slow it is to hit that, and this is an axe, mind you. So I really do hope that they actually work on this a little bit more. It seems like it takes like 4 or 5 hits to kill a zombie. I mean, just imagine swinging that slow ass axe trying to kill somebody who has a gun, you know. It just seems like you're at a disadvantage. This is pretty cool. I do believe that if you get stabbed with a knife like this and this many times, you should die way earlier, or you should have a heavier chance of bleeding out. But I do appreciate the fact that they actually updated the knife in this game. It's a little bit more effective now. I just wish that if it doesn't do more damage, it just makes people bleed out. The more you get hit by it, the faster you start turning gray, so on and so forth. You know, I would really, really, really love to see a knife in this game be as effective as a weapon, such as a pistol or something. Just be able to creep up on somebody and stab them, you know, and just give them that that few seconds of life to live before they bleed out. I think that'd be really cool. This is pretty cool too. This is your you know, your facial features. Whenever you're alive for a certain period of time, you develop scars on your face, you know, your hair grows and stuff like that. I'm not sure if this is like a bug in the game right now, but you saw what he just did. He shaved and then like his face went back to like baby smooth. So I'm not sure if that's a glitch, but that's pretty cool too. That's a cool feature. This right here, wolves, they literally, I don't know what happened, but these wolves here, they literally took like 2 swings from the knife and they died. So I'm not sure how it is, if it's supposed to be like that. But one thing I did notice is you can see on his hands are all bloody from gutting this wolf. I was told that you have a severe chance of having like an infection or something like that and dying because of this. It's kind of like drinking from water out of a pond, apparently. But this is pretty cool. You can actually wash your hands as well. So I think if you have gloves on, it helps you. So having gloves is actually going to be an effective part of the game at the moment. But that's pretty cool that you could wash your hands. You could use the well for multiple functions, not just drinking and stuff like that. Now, I did notice that when you cut firewood now, the tree doesn't fall over. I was kind of disappointed in that. I'm not sure if that's the actual case, if they didn't show us the whole thing, or if that's just one of the features they showed us is to just cut firewood. But if the tree doesn't fall down anymore, I'm kind of disappointed. The reason I say that is because when I'm up north PvPing with my squad and one of my squad mates goes down and I have to saline him, it's a lot easier for me to cut trees down and kind of create this, this cover, this forest cover when the trees actually fall down. Here's another instrumental feature that they've added in 6.3. It's kind of like the blueprint system where you can see where your fireplace is going to be. I thought that was pretty cool. It's going to be interesting to see how this develops with the whole, base building and so on and so forth whenever they add that. Here's something interesting for you guys. I thought this was like the most interesting thing about 6.3. It shows the realism that they've added to the game. You're gonna have to, if you want to chamber your pistol without a mag, you have to actually put it in there, cock it back, and then you're good to go. But if you have a magazine, this is where it changes. If you have a magazine and you shoot your magazine entirely and you want to reload your magazine, you actually have to stop moving, put your gun away, pull your magazine out, put it into your hands, press the hot bar on whatever button you have for your bullets, and then it's going to reload it one by one. I think it's pretty cool. I like the feature. I like the idea, but I feel like it's going to slow PvP down entirely. I don't know. I haven't played it, right? I haven't had a hands-on experience with it yet to figure it out. I noticed magazines take... The inventory is way different now. Magazines take up, like, so many slots. It's not just one slot anymore for, a pistol mag. But as you can see, the recoil and all that stuff has been worked on. It's a lot more controlled. I appreciate that. I feel like with the new crosshair or the cursor, it's not the taco aim. Thank God. The taco aim is like, even though I'm a big user of the taco aim, it's because I have to. I have to use it, So I'm glad that that's going to be gone, because now it looks like it's going to be a lot more hands-on, gunplay. You're going to be aiming down your sights a lot more, which is how it should be. This is where they're just displaying how you're able to run and move at the same time. I think sway is gone. They don't have sway anymore. It's more of like the stamina thing. When you run out of stamina, you're gonna have to relax. But that's pretty cool. I'm glad they added that. Here's a gunfight. This is something a lot of people were dying to see. This is a gunfight here. You're going to see what I was talking about, where they're kind of prepared going into this. He has mags already loaded in his backpack, and he presses 1, 2, or 3 to reload them. So it's going to be pretty cool to get into a gunfight with this type of feature, because now, like I said, you're going to have to be using your iron sights. You can't just taco aim somebody from 200 meters away and it's 100% accurate. So I really appreciate that. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm really up for the challenge. But let's just take a look at this gunfight and see what happens from here on out. One thing I do want to chime in on right there, guys. I don't know if you noticed that, but he actually got hit by a bullet. You didn't notice it because his guy didn't go, and his screen didn't flash and make him go gray. I don't know if that's going to be the entirety of the PvP, if that's how it's going to work because of the health bar system and stuff like that. But I think that's pretty cool. I hate when I get shot and my guy just like flinches. See how he just got shot right there and he flinched, but it didn't really affect the whole gameplay. So I really appreciate that. If that's how it's going to be, I'm not too sure. I like how they just like start slowly moving, or their leg is hurt and they start limping and stuff like that. I think that's going to be a huge game changer in PvP. But another thing I like is how the bodies go limp whenever they just die. They don't just like stay frozen in the air or just like collapse over like some cardboard dummies. They actually have like physics now, animation, and it's pretty cool. You're gonna see where he sprays this guy up with his MP5 and he just like falls over backwards, kind of like a really cool it's like almost like a Battlefield animation. I don't know. But that is the video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much to the dev team for providing me this footage. I appreciate it so much. You know, it means a lot to me to be able to get my, you know, my perspective out there. So again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and possibly subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.